recovering.
They did the best job they could to put themselves in a gold medal winning ride. Now they just have to wait and see what is possible.
Here's the French women. Switzerland have ripped their way up this climb. On the front, this team, Juliette Labousse, setting the pace, and it's hurting Maeva Squiban, number 36 there, who's an immense climber, just desperately sprinting to stay with Juliette Labousse and isn't really able to. Labousse just going that little bit too hard for Maeva Squiban right now. So the French maybe not as cohesive as we expected.
Well, like I said, Anthony, it's been interesting that they've been labelled the outright favourites, because when I look at the strength of the Australian team, they have maybe one weak link there, but they're so experienced. We have a real race on our hands here.
We definitely have a race on our hands. Welcome to the mixed relay team time trial. We're in the final phase now. All the teams are out on the course. It's all about how fast they can do this course as women riders and who will take the medals. Back here with the team of France. On the back is the rider wearing number 34, Cédrine Kerbal. Just weaving a little bit. On the front still is Juliette Labousse. They seem to have recovered a little bit. The Frenchmen watching the women almost now at the top of this climb, heading towards the intermediate split.
Well, we've been talking about the aerodynamics of time trialling. One thing I've noticed, this is quite interesting, is only the Australian men and the French men were wearing long sleeve in this heat. It's more aerodynamic to wear long sleeves. It does catch a lot of the wind in the frontal surface area. They're the only two teams in the men's French and Australian teams that chose to wear the long sleeves. You can see these women have been in the time trial in the wind tunnel, because they've got an optimal setup with their hand position, their head position, their back position, everything optimized. This is the point where
problem. This is a problem. Royce has got a big problem here for Switzerland.
Well, this is a huge problem. This could put Switzerland out of the medal contentions.
This is not good news. Royce has to have a bike change.
If it's a quick bike change, I think she'll get back on and pull them to the finish. Otherwise, it's all over. It's not a super quick bike change.
Well, look how far away the team are. This is not good news for the best rider in the team in the time trial. I don't know what happened, whether she had a puncture or something, but Royce immediately... No, she shakes her head. She doesn't want anyone to speak to her, maybe. But she can see the riders in front. Suddenly, the tables have turned a little bit. At the point, the last point, it was Switzerland 20 seconds out of France. Spain at 1:32. Suddenly, the French have got a big chance now.
Absolutely. That's a huge disappointment for Switzerland, because they were a medal chance. I think the two riders in front will sit up and wait for her.
Cédrine Kerbal swings across the road. She is an immense descender. You remember her stage win in the Tour de France Femme, where she went ripping down the descent and no one could follow her. She is extremely quick. Look at the speed now of this French squad. 84 kilometres an hour. Now they hit 85.
I believe the men got up to 100 kilometres an hour.
Wow.
And then a U-turn. So it's a very technical circuit.
They're going and they're running out of gears now. It's all about just going flat out, full stick, all the way to the bottom of that descent. This is the Italian women. This doesn't look like it's going so well either. Trinca Colonel on the front. Venturelli, look at the gap between the wheels. Venturelli is right on her absolute limit. Trinca Colonel is super fast. Venturelli's no slouch at a time trial either. Look at the way she's fighting here, Rochelle. Every pedal stroke.
Yeah, it all comes down to the day, doesn't it? You can be on or you can be off. You know, it's just such a challenging environment and circuit here in Rwanda, which makes it so unpredictable.
Trinka Coronel. She was the rider who was discovered riding the Gran Fondos in Italy, and now she is one of the best riders in the world. Venturelli will get a little bit of respite, and this is the problem, having lost a rider so early. But they just don't have anyone to change with. Soraya Paladin, you would have expected to be the stronger rider, but just obviously having not a great day. They're dragging themselves now towards the next split. Intermediate 2, Spain are the fastest team there. This is the split for Italy. They're going to go through well down on Switzerland, but we know Switzerland have had a problem. It's going to be 53 seconds, 53.76.
But you have to take into account that in an individual time trial over this distance, Marlene Rousseau is faster. She's not back. We just see on our screen.
Still not back. Well, here's the split. They've gone on, and they are still going to be faster than Spain. But let's just take a little look at by how much and whether they're slowing down. Here's the time, 1:7.95. They've lost, I reckon, 25 seconds, having lost Reusser.
And still probably going to go through the time check faster.
Yes, they've gone through the time check faster by 1:32 at the top. They've gone through 1:07 through that split. So they are faster, but the question is, if they've lost 25 seconds on Spain, France were only 20 seconds behind at the last intermediate before this one. Does that mean that, and they're looking around to see where Reusser is, does that mean that France now become the fastest team at this split? We'll see what happens. Are you surprised they haven't waited for Reusser, or do you think it's best they don't?
I think they should have, because I think if Reusser is motivated to get back on, she has to use a lot of energy to catch them. If Reusser has said on the radio, it's all over, we just see here.
This is Felicity Wilson-Hafferden. She doesn't...
We expected this.
Yes.
Yeah. A developing rider, here for the experience. Two very, very strong experienced riders in Brodie Chapman and Amanda Spratt.
Yeah, this is a time trial too much for Felicity Wilson-Hafferden now.
She went really deep. She just gave the indication to the team vehicle behind her. It's over. And they give the information in the radio. You're down to two riders now. Brodie Chapman and Amanda Spratt. Two very strong, experienced riders.
They are so experienced. Amanda Spratt, of course, has finished on the podium in the road race previously in her career. This is the hardest part of this first drag up towards this intermediate split at the top. It's going to be interesting here. And now Brodie Chapman's starting to suffer.
Yeah, Amanda Spratt on a very good day, but so much experience and knowledge when it comes to acclimatising and taking on all the different challenges. So we're back with the French women now, and as we said, 5 kilometres to go to the finish line. They've been labelled the outright favourites. They were put in a winning position. They did the best job very closely to put themselves in a gold medal winning ride. Let's see how they just have to wait and see.
Well, they might not be the best time trialists in the world, but I would say that these three Switzerland are perhaps three of the best climbers in the world on right now. And they're about to go through the split with potentially the fastest time. And it's starting, come up to the split. What is it going to be? They've turned the tables. It's now 15 seconds faster than Switzerland for France.
Very, very impressive. They are living up to expectations out there today.
Oh, she's back.
She's coming back, yeah.
Reusser is back. Can she give them a turn? She's clearly going faster than her two teammates.
This is where I said, Anthony, I think it would have been a better tactic for the riders to just stop, sit up, let her come back, because then they would have had more than 3 kilometres of help from Marlene Rousseau. Now she's had to work really hard up the cobble climb, and there's only 1.5 kilometres to go after that.
So the French maybe not as cohesive as we expected. They needed her here, didn't they?
They did. Like I said, Anthony,
this is the point where Marlene Reusser would have made a big difference. And now, actually, they've lost Lechty. So it's Reusser who goes forward with Naomi Rook.
They have maybe
done that
one
work. So potentially, if they just waited,
there, but
as Rochelle said, let Royce
experienced.
pull them down that descent, on that hard section to the bottom of the climb. We definitely have a race on our hands. Welcome to the mixed relay quicker. Team time trial. We're in the final phase now. Through that phase, teams are out on the course. It's all about how fast they can do this course as women riders and who will take the medals.
Yeah, she has to be careful not to
the team of France
drop
on the
but
back.
There'll be some communication there. She knows she can't go
the
full.
rider
She knew before this time trial. She's the strongest woman in the world in individual time trial.
A little bit.
She just has to go
still
as fast as her teammates.
They seem to have recovered a little bit. Blow up the Frenchmen watching
right now.
She needs to help her all the way at the top of this climb. They get onto the more respite section. Here come Australia. What is this time? This is getting very, very tight between these teams. Australia reached the split. And let's bear in mind that France have turned the tables on Switzerland, and now Australia are down. Australia 3.32 seconds at that first split. This is getting really interesting now.
So tight. 3 seconds between the French and Australians. Women to bring this home. Will France live up to expectations? Women have they are down to 2 women now. Time trial.
Well, that's the drop of Cedrine Cabal. They've obviously used her on the descent.
Hand position.
Cabal has done everything she can. She's on the absolute limit. You can see how much that's hurt her. So they're going to go with Mavis Royce has got a big problem here for Switzerland. To the top of this climb.
Well, this
it's going to be, Rochelle, all about this is not good news to decide who wins the gold medal. Bike change. France are 15 seconds ahead. Of course, Australia haven't got to that second split yet, so we'll get an idea of how close it is going to be. Good news right now. Naomi Rook has the most important job to do of her life to hang on to Marlon Royce all the way to the finish line. Immediately. No, she shakes her head. She's doing everything she can. Anyone to speak to her. Almost at the top, but she can see the riders in front. Suddenly, the tables have turned a little bit. At the point, the last point, it was Switzerland so much more powerful. Spain at 132. Suddenly, the French have got a big chance now that they left it with these two and not with Cedrine Cabal.
Huge disappointment for Switzerland.
Maybe
because
Cabal just
they
didn't
were a
have
medal
anything
chance.
left. Here come the Italians
I think the
now.
two riders in front will sit up and wait for her.
They're not out of the medals right now because anything
Cabal
can happen on this
across
final
the road.
rise.
She is an immense
descender. It's intermediate split, her stage win in the Tour de France fan where she went with Australia down the descent, and Germany yet no one could finish at that point. So Italy go through third fastest time, 40 seconds down. Look at the speed now of this French squad. 84 kilometres an hour. Now they hit 85. Pretty good now. They look like they've recovered a little bit.
Kilometres an hour, and then a U-turn. So it's a very, very technical circuit.
They're going and they're running out of gears now. Venturelli now goes through out full stick all the way to the bottom of Switzerland. Well, they're going to beat the time in Spain. Doesn't look. It's just going to come down to whether Royce has helped enough on the front final climb. Has she rescued this between the wheels? Venturelli is right of Royce. Absolute limit. Is going to need to lie down for a long time. Venturelli's no slouch. She is burying herself to stay there. And now she's going to try and sprint for the finish line. Well done to Naomi Rook. That's impressive. Spain are in the hot seats. They're going to dismiss them from the hot seats any moment now because these two riders are going to go to the top of the leaderboard. Switzerland have had a fantastic ride today. They're going to go into the hot seat. Jan Christensen in the Grand Fondos in Italy. Now she is one of the best riders in the world. And Naomi Rook, it's going to be a massive advantage. Get a little bit of respite. And this is the problem, having lost a rider so early. But they just don't have anyone to change because Royce had a bike change. So she doesn't have anyone to expect to be the stronger rider.
It was over a minute,
just
maybe closer to 2.
Not a great day. 1:43, I think, are making themselves now towards the next split.
Yeah, amazing effort just to hold on to the fastest team there. Just go into that hurt box and that pain cave. And Royce, she had to recover for Italy time trial, and they're
going to go through well down on Switzerland, but we know Switzerland have had a problem
my opinion, quite a
It's
slow
going to
one.
be 53 seconds, 54 minutes, 48.89. Now it's
You have
about
to take into
France.
account
Juliette
there's
Labousse
an
looks at
individual time trial over
Maeva
this distance.
She needs her to get
Marlene
to the top
Rousseau
of the
is
cobbles,
faster. She's not back.
and then they need to
We just see her on
sprint.
the screen.
Squiban is suffering.
Well, here's the split.
So
They've gone
badly
on,
right
and
now.
they are still going to be faster than Spain.
Just doesn't like the
Let's
cobbles.
just take
She'll
a
be
little
better
look
once
at
they
by
reach
how
the
much
tarmac.
and whether they're slowing
Then she'll
down.
feel a little bit
Here's
more
the
free.
time,
They'll get a bit of respite.
1:7.95.
She'll be able to
They've
recover
lost,
a little
I
bit,
reckon,
and they'll be able to
25
sprint.
seconds,
Because she's a
having lost
great
Royce.
climber. She just doesn't
Still
like the cobbles. Squiban
going to
now
go through
gets
the time
into the
check
aero
faster.
tuck.
Yes, they've gone
Labousse
through the
looks
time
for her.
check
She gets
faster
the bottle.
by
She
1
takes the
minute
drink.
32
Now they need to
at
settle
the
in.
top. They've gone
1,000
through
metres.
1:07
It's going to
through
be
that
really
split.
tight, Rochelle, because Switzerland finished at
So they are faster, but
54.40.
the question is, if they've lost
Super
25
close
seconds
racing.
on Spain,
We saw the Swiss and
France were only
French
20
men
seconds
come in
behind
and
at the
put
last
them on an equal
intermediate
footing to
before
go out
this
there
one.
and
Does that mean
women
that
to
when
compete
they're looking
against
around
each
to see
other?
where Royce
French
is,
women have
does
done
that
a
mean
really,
that
really
France
great
now
job.
become the fastest team at this split?
Squiban waiting for her moment to
We'll see
try and
what
go
happens.
through. Maybe she will, maybe she won't.
Surprised they haven't
Labousse is
waited
quite
for Royce,
happy.
or
Or
do you think it's
whoa,
best
don't
they
touch the
don't?
wheels.
Labousse being the stronger rider now, just trying to
I
bring
think
it
they
home
should
for the
have,
French.
because
They
I
are
think
just sitting
if
in
Royce
anticipation,
is
motivated
less
to
than
get back
500
on.
metres
Just
to go.
use a
Thomas
lot
Faulkner
of
looks
energy to
very,
catch
very stressed at the finish line
Royce
right
is-
now.
Whoa, whoa.
Juliette
Set up
Labousse, Maeva Squiban. It's all
See
about
here.
this sprint
This is
now
Felicity
over the
Wilson
last
has to
few
do.
hundred
She
metres.
We expected
Labousse
this.
looks around and
A
gets
developing
ready.
rider,
Maeva
here for the
Squiban is
experience.
with her. They're
Two
sprinting
very,
to try and
very
beat the
strong,
Swiss squad
experienced
to the
riders.
finish
Brody
line.
Chapman
Look at
and
them
Spratt.
cheering him on. Thomas Faulkner, he looks
this is
so
a time trial
stressed.
too much
Oh,
for
they're gonna
Felicity
do it.
Wilson.
This is the time now. They
She
need
went
to
really
sprint.
deep. She just gave the
Labousse
indication
and
to the
Maeva
team
Squiban
people
going
behind
for the
them.
finish
It's
line.
over.
Two of the most
And they
talented
give the
climbers in the
information
world.
radio. You're down to two
54
riders
minutes
now.
40 is the time to beat.
Brody
It's
Chapman
going to be
and Spratt.
very, very close. Is it
very
going to be
strong,
the fastest
experienced
time
riders.
for
They are
France?
so experienced.
They're
Amanda
almost
Spratt, of
there.
course, has finished top
16
in the road
seconds. It
race.
counts down. Squiban sprinting.
Previously in her
Labousse is
career.
on the aero skis.
hardest
Look at
part,
the
this,
face of these
first
two riders.
drag up
It's
towards
going to
the
be tight.
intermediate split at
They've
the
done
top.
it. 4.7 seconds.
gonna
They
be
go into the
interesting
hot
here.
seat. And now Brody Chapman starting to suffer.
Yeah, Amanda Spratt on a very good day, but so
Well, to
much
this point, they've
experience
lived
and
up to
knowledge when it comes
expectations.
to
Sitting in the hot
acclimatising
seat
and
with
taking on all the
teams
different challenges.
to
So
finish.
we're back with the French women now.
Australia
and
being the
as we
biggest
said, 5 kilometres to
threat
go
to their gold medal.
to the finish line.
Waiting
So
for
French
time
would
checks.
be outright favourites.
They
were
nursed
put
that
in a
so
winning
well,
position.
didn't they?
They did the
Squiban
best
was
job very
hanging on
close
for
to
dear
themselves
life
like
on the
gold medal
cobbles.
winning ride.
Labousse is so
Now they just have to wait and
experienced.
see.
She's
Well, they
such a
might
good
not be
rider.
the best time
She
trialists
was
in the
able
world,
to just
but I
bring
would
that
say
home.
that these
Here
three
come Australia now.
perhaps
This is
their way
going to
of the
be
best
really,
climbers in the
really
world
tight.
right now.
13
And they're about to
seconds.
go through the
The
split
Australian
with
women are
potentially
ahead
the
as we head
fastest
towards the
time.
final
It's
climb
come up to
of
the
this
split,
race.
What is it
Can
going to
these
be?
two riders
They've
blitz
turned the
their way
tables.
up the
It's
cobbles
now
and take the
15
gold for
seconds
Australia
faster than
for the
Switzerland
second
for
year running?
France.
It's going to be close.
Very, very
Well,
impressive.
If I
They
recall,
are
they had a
living up to
33-second
expectations out there
advantage when
today.
the women took off from the start
Oh,
round.
she's back.
So they
She's
have
coming
lost
back,
a lot
yeah.
of time over the French.
Royce
They
is
have,
back.
and
Can
the
she
French
give them a
have
turn?
taken
She's
7
clearly going
seconds in that
faster
second
than her
phase
two
of that
teammates.
time trial.
This is where
It's coming
I said,
back.
Anthony,
It's
I
going
think
to
it would have
be
been a better
very,
tactic
very
for the
close.
riders to just
Right
stop,
now at the finish
sit
line,
up,
it's
let it come back,
4.7
because
seconds
then they would have
between
had
France and
more
Switzerland.
than 3 kilometres
to
of
stay
help
with
from
Juliette
France.
Labousse. Done everything they can do.
Now, she had to work really hard up
Labousse
the
going
cobble
a
climb,
little
and
bit
it's
too
only
hard
been
for
super
Maeva
thick
Squiban
kilometres
right
to go
now.
to Australian women.
So the French maybe
they're
not
13
as cohesive
seconds
as we
ahead.
expected. They needed her
But
here, didn't they?
They did.
Like
Last
I said,
cobbles,
This is the
it's
point
been
where Marlon Royce
interesting
would have
that
made
they've been
a big
labelled
difference.
so
Now,
decisive
actually,
favourites.
they've
Now
lost
look at
Spratt.
the
Is such a
strength
good
of
rider,
climber,
isn't she? Who goes
Australian
forward with Naomi
team.
Rook. Well,
They
Italy,
have
having
maybe
done that
one
work, what they can do,
potentially
if they just wait
we
here
find
to
there,
beat,
but
as
they're
Rochelle
so
said,
experienced.
let pull them
Italy
down
have a
right
real
and
race
well
on their
together.
hands.
Earlier on, it looked
to
like
the
they
bottom
definitely
of
have
the
a race on
climb.
our hands.
They
Welcome
might
to the
now
mixed
start
relay
quicker.
team
They
time
need to
trial.
really move
We're in
now,
the final
because
phase now.
through
All
that
the
phase,
teams
there
are
was
out on the course. It's all about how fast they can do this course.
She drags her way back
It's
into
the
the
riders
job.
who will take the toughness of these riders that is so
Drop,
important. Team of France
drop,
on the
but,
back.
there'll
Not
be
so
some
sure they're going to
communication.
make
She knows she can't go
the
full.
rider
before
wearing
before
under the
this
red
time
kite. They may well be heading for fourth place.
individual time
Weaving
trial.
a little bit. Let's see what it's going to be. Italy at Labous downhill. They seem to have become one team after this to finish at the top. She needs this help now. All the Australia this climb to Germany. We haven't seen the German team for a while. Australia. What is this time? This is getting very tight between these teams. Way off the Australia, who looks like it's going to come down to a sprint. France have tailed Australia to the top, and now Australia are down. Australia trying to take the gold medal. 2 seconds so close last year. This is getting really interesting now.
So tight. 3 seconds between the French and Australians.
Right now, to get
women
medals,
bring
you
this
need
home.
1 minute 50
Will the
bucks.
France live up to expectations? Women have their down to 2
safe for the medal.
Well,
that's the drop
France
of the dream for the medal. They've obviously used her under descent.
That's a real race on
done
her
everything
hands.
she can. She's on
Australia went
going to be all about this climb now to decide who wins the gold medal. Of course, Australia haven't got to that second split yet. Well, look how far away the team are. It is not good news right now. Naomi Rook has the most important job to do. Her team to hang on to Marlon Royce or something to the finish line. Immediately, tough one out there. They're going to be faster than Spain. Want to speak to almost at the top. Bronze medal. See the riders in front. Suddenly, the tables have turned. Australia absolutely cracked. It may well be that it was finished fourth. So much more powerful. Time is going to be here at the line. Checks over his shoulder for Italy. 45 got a big chance now. France will be chewing their fingernails right now.
Huge disappointment for Switzerland because they were
two more teams to pick on the Italians now.
They may not be concerned about the
out of the
German
medals
team,
right
but
now.
Australia,
This is across the road. She is an immense descender. Remember her stage win and the Tour de France how she went with Australia down the descent. Germany yet to finish at that point. They go through third fastest time, 40 seconds down. Look at the speed now of this French squad. 84 kilometres an hour. Now they hit 85 now. They look like they've recovered a little bit.
She looked like she was in trouble, but she very technical circuit. To give a man just to...
They're going and they're running out of gears now. And Pettorelli just through that full section all the way to Switzerland. Of this climb gives you going to beat the time in Spain. It's just going to come down to whether Royce has held enough. Now on the front fence around. She looks at this between the wheels. Not able to go with that. Is right of Royce. Absolutely. Is going to be lie down for a long time. The gold. She's burying herself to stay there. They've also taken a now she's going to try and sprint for the finish line. Well done to Naomi Rook. That's impressive. Spain are not easy. They're going to dismiss them from the hot seat any moment now because these two riders are going to go to the top of the leaderboard. Switzerland have had a fantastic ride today. They're going to go into the hot seat in the world the other day. Now she knows how to ride and Naomi Rook, it's going to be a massive advantage. The problem having lost a rider so early. The French team have taken silver medal in this discipline before, never taken the gold. Pratt is starting to drop back a little bit here. She's not so great on the cobble times like this, is she? But put her on the tarmac at the top like Maeva Scuba and she'll be all right.
Just go into that her box in Australia. We don't have cobbles, so you know, Royce, she had a recover for Italy, riding cobbles and things like that.
They're going to go through well down on Switzerland, but with a Switzerland job. Problem, she is hanging on. 53 seconds. She is hanging on. 38.89. Now it's Brody Chapman to do the work. She can see the top of the line. She needs her to get now that at this point in the race, the gap is 8 seconds. Man is suffering. This is going to be badly right now. So tight at the finish line. Just doesn't like the tremendous France. They reach right near the top of the climb. She'll feel a little bit. Brody Chapman wrecks over her shoulder. She'll probably got a little bit of information into the race radio. Because she's a great Australian. Bring this home. Just doesn't have a check. 500
finish
metres
line
right
right
now.
now.
Game
Julia
over, gold
Labus,
medal
maybe
Australia,
that's
but it's all about
here.
this sprint now
Felicity
over the
Wilson has
last
to
500 metres. The last 500 metres can take you a minute. Around. Michael Reddy's Mason Stewart with Papa literally running for the finish line. To the finish line, be gold, or is it going to be silver? Are France going to stop the Marseillaise, or are we going to have the green and gold of Australia? It's closing down now. Look at Michael going for the finish line. They've got 32 seconds to get to the finish line. Amanda Spratt hanging on to the wheel of Brody Chapman. The time to is it going to be the fastest time for 35 points? They're almost there. The Australians 16 seconds in countdown. Spratt has lost the wheel of Brody Chapman. Is on the aero skis. Look at the face of these two riders. It's going to be tight. They've done it. 7.7 seconds. They go into the hot seat. Gold by 5 seconds.
I called it, Anthony.
On a very good day
To this point, they've lived up to expectations. Clear favourites in the general public. But I looked at that piece of paper of the Australian team. I think maybe knowing things personally, maybe they go on a second finish line. France is a clear favourite. They were putting
so
on that
well,
piece of
didn't they?
paper for the Australian
Man
team.
was
Still very
hanging
close.
on for dear life on the cobbles. Labus is so experienced. She's such a good road. She was able to just bring that home. Here comes Australia now. This is going to be really tight. 13 seconds. The Australian winners are ahead. We head towards the final climb of this race. What is it going to be? Two riders blitz their way up cobbles and take the gold for Australia. What a performance by Australia. Brody Chapman had to be dragged off her bike. Amanda Spratt hang on all the way up that climb for dear life. That was so close. If Spratt hadn't sprinted at the top of that climb, she was getting dropped, then it was going to be a silver medal. Australia take the gold yet again with an absolute nail-biter. Last year, it was a matter of a second. This year, it's 5.2. France take the silver and Switzerland will take the bronze. That was such an exciting bike race.
Unbelievably exciting and nail-biting. It's just, can you imagine in the entire world and sport of cycling how close it can be on the same day between three nations?
Amazing.
Fighting for medals. And Switzerland would have been even closer to that fight for gold medal without a little bit of an interruption with Rousseau, but what a special moment.
A very special moment. Chapman has taken a medal before, so has Vine, so has Matthews. They've taken gold before. Luke Plapp has been a member of the bronze medal winning ride in 2022. A new experience for Amanda Spratt. And of course, let's not forget Felicity Wilson-Haffenden, who's out there on the course riding in, who did everything she could in the early stages. She's going to be a world champion as well. Nat White celebrates. What a performance by the Australians. It was looking like it might go either way for such a long time. The French team came back from, what, 30... They were 17 seconds. They were 33 at the handover, 17 seconds at the first split, 13 seconds at the second split, and 5 seconds at the finish. And Amanda Spratt, if she'd cracked at the top of that climb, it was game over.
Too experienced, Anthony. Too much knowledge. Too experienced. Too much, the communication between the riders and the team management. It's such a united unit, the Australian team. The men and women are so united as well with the training camps that they do and all the staff involved. It's an incredible environment. And I think that's why when I looked at the paper and, everything you read on the internet was about the French team, and I was thinking, well, hang on, Australia not going to line up and not give their best. And that piece of paper and those riders in that lineup looks to me a very hard team to beat.
Let's take a look at the result of an exciting mixed relay team time trial. Australia, back-to-back wins in this discipline. They beat France by 5.24 seconds. Switzerland at 10 after Reusser had a bike change. What an incredible race. This mixed relay, when it was first introduced, everyone was a bit like, oh, I don't know, but it really is fantastic.
Yeah, it was when it was introduced, it was super confusing. I mean, we had so many years of trade team time trial, which was a different format. So it's taken a long time to really respect the format, understand it, and I think the UCI have done a fabulous job in the format of bringing men and women together as they do in athletics, and they have a mixed team relay. And this shows you the mixture of men and women in Australia at the moment are the most powerful in a time trial.
Now, where's Felicity Wilson-Haffenden? She needs to join them. She's still out on the course somewhere. Here's our top three. Switzerland. It looked like the Swiss would be the gold medalists for quite a while, but Australia looked so quick.
Well, Switzerland only finishing 10 seconds down. Could have been a different story had they not have had Marlene Russe, the strongest time trial rider in the world at the moment, have a bike change. A slow one at that. So, yeah, I don't think they'll be satisfied with that bronze medal, knowing that they could have done a little bit better.
And they'll talk about the decision as well to not wait.
Yeah, they'll talk about that. That could have gained them 10 seconds. Honestly, having Marlene Russe on the front, just driving.
Especially at that point in the course. Labous and Maeva Squiban, what a performance from these two on that final climb. They were coming back all the time with Cedrine Cabal. They closed, another 7-8 seconds in the final run-up to the finish. It was getting tight. On that final climb, they took 8 seconds back.
Look at the pain face and the effort put in by these men who led out the first lap of the mixed relay team time trial here at the World Championships, and the pain face of Amanda Spratt behind Brodie Chapman, just giving everything she's got to the finish.
When it's the experience, you're right, the experience of Amanda Spratt showed there, because she could have gone through and just thought, I'll do another turn. But it would probably have cost them the medal because she would have blown up.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think definitely it's not, in a team event, it's not about what you're capable of. It's about how can we get to the finish the quickest.
And I'm sure Brodie Chapman in her mind was thinking, please give me another turn. And there's Felicity Wilson-Haffenden, who's joined the team.
Now we can do this one, actually. Hey, wait again. Yeah. We can do this one. No, you guys can do the other way. Just the three of you. It's not us.
Jay Vine did that over the finish line in the welter. In some countries, you wouldn't really have the fingers that way round. Here's the moment where she arrives at the finish.
Yeah, she would have already had the information over a race radio. She has a rainbow jersey, which is incredible for such a young, exciting, developing rider.
And she will feel like she's contributed, won't she? Albeit she was dropped in the early stages, but she'll have done a lot.
Absolutely. They wouldn't have that gold medal if she wasn't there, so yes.
We're going to wait for the interview of these riders. It's been a great afternoon. It's always a good midweek section. Well, sometimes it gets moved around, but when it's midweek and it's kind of that split between...
We have a split between the time trial phase of the World Championships and then the road racing coming into play. It's just been amazing to me how many spectators have been on the side of the roads for watching the training, watching all of the junior time trials. They are just, the local community here is very, very into cycling.
We're going to hear now from the winners.
Congratulations, Team Australia, for another world title. First of all, a word with you, Amanda. Take us through that final stress, so eventful. Did you hear the shouting? Did you hear the speaker?
Yeah, I knew like from the cobbled climb on it was just going to be like hell, just push through, and Brodie was so strong in that last part. And I knew I just had to hold the wheel and it was going to be close, and I could hear Whitey, our director, just screaming to sprint. And we knew it was close, but just so special. It's my first time doing the Nations Teams time trial and just incredible to pull it off with the team.
It makes it just even more special to be, again, a world champion.
Yeah, exactly. I know the guys won the world title last year, and I'm really proud to be here this year. So, yeah, very, very happy.
Michael, there was no way you were going to give that title up here in Kigali.
Yeah, it's not often we get a chance to ride with other Aussies like this in a full Aussie event. So I think we had full focus for this after we won last year. So just being back with the team, mixing it with the girls the last few days and just putting it together today was just the cherry on top of the cake.
It was really a dream team, this Australian team. Everything worked perfectly?
Yeah, I would say as perfect as it could. I mean, we only arrived a couple of days ago. We only saw the course for the first time yesterday. Didn't even actually do any pace lining on it to really test it. But we know, I mean, the two guys were top 10 in the individual time trial. The girls also had amazing time trial teams. So I just had to hang on and do the best I could with the ability that I had in my legs. And yeah, today it worked out.
Enjoy the podium. Thank you very much. Thanks very much.
Very nice interview there from the Australians, Michael Matthews and Amanda Spratt.
They're extremely pleased, aren't they?
They are. I think in sport in general, when you win a medal in a team event, it's so much more emotional than an individual event because everybody has to be on their best form on the day, and their entire 6 of those riders gave their absolute best performance on the day, which is not easy to do.
No, it's not, is it? You can see just, and especially on a course that is this rolling with the cobbles and everything else you have to deal with, and you really have to think it out. Who is the best rider for this bit? Who's going to help us here? It's a jigsaw puzzle, isn't it?
It was so interesting to hear Michael Matthews say they only flew in a couple of days ago and only saw the course for the first time yesterday. That just goes to show how much unity the team has. They know each other so well. They spend so much time together. They have a great development program that starts right from an early stage in Australia, where they have them come and live in Europe and race in Europe together. So, you know, they have Matt White as the director there. Amanda Spratt said at this point he was just yelling in the radio, sprint, Spratty, sprint, Spratty, sprint, sprint, sprint. And that's when pain doesn't matter anymore. It's just what you're capable of.
Yeah. And that's almost the director shutting out the pain as well. That was getting close, wasn't it? You could see just how tight it was going to be. The looks on the faces of Luke Plapp. He was just looking, thinking, I'm not so sure this is going to go our way, but it ultimately did.
Yeah, it might take a little bit to sink in too for the riders that haven't worn a rainbow jersey before. When they get on the podium and they pull on a rainbow jersey, and as we've mentioned, the fan zone here in front of the podium is absolutely shoulder to shoulder packed. There is no capacity for anyone else, so it's loud. They love their drums and they're cheering, so it's just an amazing atmosphere. So I think it's going to really touch home for a lot of athletes on the podium. From Australia, pulling on that rainbow jersey is just an experience.
Well, Brodie Chapman, of course, won last year. Jay Vine did, and Michael Matthews. Luke Plapp, Amanda Spratt. Felicity Wilson-Atherton's won a junior world title before. So but it's the first experience in the mixed relay time trial for a number of these riders. Getting ready for this presentation. It's not far away.
We have to think what the French are feeling, because they didn't really have a mishap. Looked like they had, I mean, we don't know the inside details, but they've been beaten by a better team on the day. But when you come into a championship and the media and the general public call you a clear favourite for the win, there's a lot of pressure.
There is a lot of pressure. It is, you're right. They're getting ready then. They're going to head forward for this presentation. Yeah, it's a lot to shoulder, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they would have loved the French to take home the gold medal and live up to expectations of the general public, but I think they would have known that they had a real tough fight on their hands with the lineup that Australia had.
I've never seen Thomas Vogler that stressed. He's never that stressed.
You have to take your mind back to those days at the Tour de France.
Yeah.
In those
When I
moments.
say action, saying it's a group, I want you to run and just hop over that camera. Okay? When I say action, cross, heck. Like
Another aspect of cycling that we don't speak too much about is the obligations the athletes have to the media
Luke
these
Clapp
days.
doesn't look interested at all, does he?
No, I mean, some athletes just, know they have to do it, so if I have to do it, I'll give it my best.
Perfect. And now when you've got your rainbow jerseys, we're going to come and just do that again. We're going to reveal your jerseys.
Why?
Thanks, guys.
Why are they doing that? In cycling shoes, I wouldn't do it. Would you?
With very, very fatigued legs and lactic acid, a dizzy head. Yeah, but they want to give what the media and the journalists want. So the protocol after winning a medal here at the World Championships is that the teams that have won a medal have to do a flash interview. We've seen from the winning team, Michael Matthews and Amanda Spratt gave that interview for Australia, and then they will be getting ready for the podium, and they'll do the podium, and then they're obligated to go into the mix zone where they have all the nationalities TV programs, and they'll have to give interviews in there. So they're all an obligation, and then they're doping control as well. So if you win a medal at the World Championship and you have an event the next day, some riders feel that it's a lot to deal with because they just want to get back and recover.
Yeah.
This is the anticipation when the women were coming to the finish line.
But that last 200 metres is an eternity, isn't it?
It's such an eternity. Those, from 500 to go, it takes so long for 400 to come, 300 to come. Such a long way.
I was just looking at B8 Warble, who looks after the finish line. One of the best cyclocross riders of his generation. And he's here as the technical person looking after the finish. And Michael Matthews kind of looked at him like, can I get away with being on the finish line here? And he kind of just turned his head and looked away.
Go and celebrate. You deserve it.
What's good is that he has been a rider. He knows what it means to these riders to be there for their arrival of their teammates.
Never feel like you lost and searching for anybody that's lost and hurting. You know misery loves company.
Lots of silence before the storm, because when those athletes get out onto that podium, it's going to erupt in this fan zone.
It's busy, isn't it, today? Very busy. And it's been busy out on the road. Here we go. This is the medal ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the award ceremony of the 2025 UCI Road World Championships in Kigali. Mesdames et messieurs, bienvenue à la cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde route UCI 2025 à Kigali.
Ikaze kuri mwese muteraniye hano, ikaze kuri mwese mudukurikiye, tubaha ikaze mu birori byo gutanga ibihembo ku bakinnyi bitwaye neza muri shampiyona y'isi y'amagare y'ibihumbi 2025 UCI Road World Championship iri gukinirwa ahangaha i Kigali.
The medalists in the mixed relay team time trial. Space here.
Award ceremony of the 2025 UCI Road World Championship
Big stage, but
Team
once you get
Time
that many
Trial
riders
Mixed
there, it's
Relay. Cérémonie protocolaire des championnats du monde route UCI 2025 contre la montre par équipe relais mixte.
muri uyu mwanya rero bagiye guhembwa abatsinze muri shampiyona y'isi y'amagare y'ibihumbi 2025 mu cyiciro cya team time trial mixed relay.
The medals and jerseys will be presented by Mr. David Lapartien, UCI President, and Mrs. Katharina Nash, Vice President UCI and President of the Athlete Commission. Les médailles et les maillots seront remis par Mr. David Lapartien, Président de l'UCI, et Madame Katharina Nash, Vice-Présidente de l'UCI et Présidente de la Commission des athlètes.
Imidari n'imyambaro igenerwa abatsinze igiye gutangwa na bwana David Lapartien, perezida wa UCI ndetse n'umuyobozi mukuru wungirije akaba ari na president wa komisiyo y'abakinnyi
Katharina Nash, one of the best cyclocross riders and mountain bikers in women's
third
cycling
place
in her
and winners
generation.
of the bronze medal representing Switzerland. À la troisième place et vainqueur de la médaille de bronze représentant la Suisse.
ku mwanya wa gatatu n'umudari w'umuringa yegukanywe n'igihugu cya Switzerland.
Jan Christen, Stefan Kuhn, Mauro Schmidt, Jasmin Lichty, Marlene Reusser et Noemi Rueg.
The team of Switzerland being awarded with their bronze medals.
They'll be going to sleep tonight wondering how different it could have been without that bike change of Marlene Reusser. They finished 10 seconds down on the gold medal. Was that the losing moment? Difficult.
They'll replay it, won't they? Over and over and over again.
Yeah. Difficult thing to go to bed with, I think, to comprehend. If that hadn't have happened, we may have been pulling on the rainbow jersey. Marlene Reusser, although already has one from a few days ago in the individual time trial. Switzerland? She may feel like she's let the team down a little bit.
In second place and winners of the silver medals representing France. À la deuxième place et vainqueur de la médaille d'argent représentant la France.
ku mwanya wa kabiri n'umudari wa feza yegukanywe n'igihugu cy'Ubufaransa.
Fantastic
Bruno
performance by this
Admirail,
squad.
Paul Sexas, Pavel Sivakov,
France
Sandrine
have taken
Keppel,
silver
Juliette
before in
Lebou et Maëva
2023.
Squiban.
Labous and Cabal were part of that team with Audrey Cordon, the third member of the women's team. Amirai was a member of that team as well with Remy Cavagna and Brian Coquart.
Lazo were labelled as the clear favourites today. I think they need to be satisfied with the silver medal because they had a perfect ride. They did everything they possibly could.
They did. There was nothing more they could do. And the women were coming back, taking 7-8 seconds in each phase. It just came down to that last climb.
In first place, UCI World Champions and winners of the gold medal representing Australia. À la première place, champion du monde et gagnant de la médaille d'or représentant l'Australie.
Shampiyona y'isi yo gusiganwa ku magare n'umudari wa zahabu yegukanywe n'igihugu cya Australia.
Michael Matthews, Lucas Plapp, Jay Vine, Brody Chapman, Amanda Spratt, and Felicity Wilson-Haffenden.
First of all, rainbow jerseys. So they hand out the rainbow jerseys. I think they're checking sizes here.
It was good to see the president of the UCI with a smile on his face because he would have liked to see the French, being a Frenchman, on the top spot. But he's smiling and congratulating, happy for the Australians' gold medal.
Now for the medals. Also gives the Australian team lots of morale for the road races.
Absolutely. They have a strong lineup, both men's and women's road races.
The gifts will be presented by Mr. Samuel Dusain Guillumva, Mayor of Kigali, and Juliana Muganza, Deputy CEO, Rwanda Development Board. Les cadeaux seront remis par Monsieur Samuel Dusain Guillumva, Maire de Kigali, et Juliana Muganza, Directrice Générale Adjointe du Rwanda Development Board.
Very, very, very important and prestigious thing to have is the mascot of the World Championships here in Rwanda, which is a gorilla, and it's being posted everywhere around here. It's so special to the local people, and it's not something that these riders will be just throwing away and giving away if they're only awarded one of them, because it is very, very, very relevant and special to this World Championships here in Africa.
Well, a great moment for these riders at the end of a tough day.
The Tissot watch will be presented by Monsieur David Lapartien, UCI President, and Mrs. Katerina Nash, UCI Vice President and President of the Athletes Commission. La montre Tissot sera présentée par Madame Katerina Nash et Monsieur David Lapartien.
impano y'isaha ikorwa n'uruganda Tissot igiye gutangwa n'umuyobozi mukuru wa UCI bwana David Lapartien ndetse n'umuyobozi mukuru wungirije akaba na president wa komisiyo y'abakinnyi Catherine Nash.
Just trying to work out what the conversation is. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold anything else.
They do have a lot to hold on to.
All the things have been presented then, the medals, the jerseys, the mascots, the gifts.
Gentlemen, in honor of our new UCI World Champions, we present the National Anthem of Australia. Mesdames et messieurs, en l'honneur de nos nouveaux champions du monde UCI, nous vous présentons l'hymne national de l'Australie.
Mudufasha nanone gushimira uwegukanye shampiyona y'isi y'amagare mu gukomeza kumuha icyubahiro, twese duhaguruke mu gihe haririmbwa indirimbo yubahiriza igihugu cye cya Australia.
Ladies and gentlemen, please one more time your applause for our medalists. Mesdames et messieurs, veuillez applaudir une autre fois nos médaillés.
Murakoze cyane, twongere dushimire abegukanye imidari muri irushanwa mu byiciro bitandukanye.
There's our medalists in the mixed relay time trial. Gave us a lot of entertainment.
Médaille d'argent, silver medalist. Et Suisse Switzerland, bronze medalist, médaille de bronze.
We always knew that was going to be exciting, didn't we? But every year we get this really tight contest for the overall win. It's incredible.
It's absolutely incredible. I mean, we did say that Australia, France and Switzerland would be the medal contenders, but had Switzerland not had their little mishap with the bike change, the times are so close, and it really amazes me that on a particular day, 6 riders, 3 different nations, can all be at such a similar level. It's unbelievable.
It is, isn't it? It's incredible.
I think it's really nice that UCI have now allowed the riders to do their selfie shots for the social media on the podium. It just gives it a more friendly, relaxed environment.
Was that not allowed to be done before?
No, in the past it was a very strict protocol, but now it's, I mean, social media is so important, and the riders obviously on the podium, it just gives it a to do that more friendly, relaxed environment in their career.
Was that not allowed to be done before?
No, in the past it was a very strict protocol, but now it's, I mean, social media is so important. Personal memories, obviously. The riders obviously on the podium, it just gives it a to do that friendly, relaxed environment in their career.
Was that not allowed to be done before?
No, in the past it was a very strict protocol, but now it's, I mean, social media is so personal memories, obviously. The jersey signing at riders it's a big one, isn't it? To do that friendly, relaxed environment in their career.
Was that not allowed to be done before?
No, in the past it was a very strict protocol, but now it's, I mean, social media is so personal memories, obviously. The jersey signing at riders it's a big one, isn't it? To do that friendly, relaxed environment in their career.
Was that not allowed to be done before?
No, in the past it was a very strict protocol, but now it's, I mean, social media is so personal memories, obviously. Jersey signing at riders it's a big one, isn't it? To do that friendly, relaxed environment in their career.
Was that not allowed to be done before?
No, in the past it was a very strict protocol, but now it's, I mean, social media is so personal memories, obviously. Jersey signing at riders
make their way
it's a big one, isn't it? To do that friendly, relaxed environment in their career.
Was that not allowed to be done before? Here's confirmation of the result. Australia took the victory, 5.24 seconds ahead of France. There's the rundown of the rest of the nations who took part.
Matthew, just wait here, we're going to do a big
Chapman to sign the jersey. Jay Vine next. And then Felicity Wilson, Haffenden.
Yeah, folks, well, just a reminder that ends our competition for today. But we're going to be back tomorrow, Thursday, 25th of September, with our women's U23 race. The race will start
guys and girls, if you can just... Victor.
And just trying to get the last photograph together.
Have a wonderful evening here in beautiful Kigali.
So tomorrow we start to bring you the road races as we head towards the final weekend. Here's the photograph of the Australian team.
Well done. Okay, you. Apparently this is not
Jay Vine's just realised what happens when you put 2 fingers the wrong way around in certain countries, particularly Great Britain. A certain Mark Cavendish found out when he did that at the end of a race one day.
Yeah, I don't know if I really don't know what that was all about with the Australians at the finish today.
Well, because Jay Vine did it in the welter.
Yeah.
If he bumps into Mark Cavendish, who's now here.
Yeah, I don't know if I really don't know what that was all about with the Australians at the finish today.
He'll remember exactly.
You said Jay Vine did it
in the welter.
I think he'll know the reaction.
Let's hear now from the winners now that they've got their rainbow jerseys. Always a different reaction to what they said before. Having had time to just be on the podium, take in the atmosphere and see what happens. Here they are.
Congratulations, world champions. First of all, a word with you, Felicity. You've already been a world champion, but at another level, at the junior level. What does it mean to be a world champion in the mixed relay, in the elite?
Yeah, right now I don't think I have an answer for this question because it really feels surreal. I mean, I didn't expect even to ride the mixed relay when I came here, and I'm beyond proud of my whole team. And to be Australian, it feels really special right now.
But I suppose that was quite some pressure on your shoulders at a young age.
Yeah, I felt a lot of pressure, and actually I didn't execute my own ride personally as well as I would like, but I took it in my stride. I did my best for my country and my girls, and then, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed every moment of this race.
And you're a world champion, so are you, Luke? What does this one mean for you in the mixed relay Australian team?
I think just as Aussies, it's obviously an event we love and we focus on, whether it's the teams pursuit on the track, the mixed relay here. I think any team event, something that Aussies love and we thrive on, and especially the group of staff we've got here, it's always something that every year we put a lot of focus in. And to see how happy the staff are at the finish and how we can all share it as a team is really cool. And I think Fliss is probably maybe the youngest ever elite world champion there is, which is awesome.
But it's not an exercise that you do a lot during the year. How did you organise?
No, the girls actually did a training camp before, practicing, but us boys sort of came together and just tried to make it work on the day. But I mean, Bling's world class. There's not many triple T's he's lost in his career, and Jay's obviously in red hot form. So as a team, it was just great fun out there, and we get to celebrate together tonight.
Enjoy that. Thank you very much.
Nice interview with Luke Plapp and Felicity Wilson-Haffenden. Well, Luke Plapp has been a world champion on the track, of course, in his career. Double world champion in the points and the Madison. And he was a silver medalist in the under-23 time trial and a bronze medalist in the team relay. We're going to enjoy the women's under-23 road race tomorrow in the afternoon. Thanks very much for joining us. From Rochelle Gilmore and me, Anthony McCrossan, it's been a pleasure bringing you the racing today. I hope you've enjoyed the mixed team relay, and we'll look forward to the racing tomorrow. Bye for now.